Alright, so welcome back to another review, and today I thought I would take a look at something I just saw pop up on the Netflix queue recently. It's an asylum film called Asian Schoolgirls. I was kind of interested to see just what this would be because basically this is an asylum version of a rape revenge film. Kind of in the vein of I Spit on Your Grave. And I really don't know what to think of this movie. It's terrible, obviously, but I feel there could have been a really good asylum movie here, not just the mediocre asylum movie we got. I have no idea who stars in the film except for someone called Minnie Scarlett or whatever. I guess she's a porn star. I don't really know. I just saw it on like the IMDb page of it. I just quickly glanced at it. But the film stars these, the story of it is these four Asian schoolgirls get fake IDs. They go into this bar. Their names are Susie, Hannah, Vivian, and May. They go into this bar with fake IDs. They get picked up by these two guys who work for this, Taken-esque sex slavery rape ring. And they get raped. They let them go for some fucking reason. And the girls then want revenge. What follows after that is one of the most boring, stupid asylum movies I have seen to date. They buy weapons from their, I think it's their cousin or their friend or something. It just says he deals in, like, coke or whatever, but he has a lot of guns, too. And in order to make the money for these guns, they go back to the bar where they were raped. They get jobs as strippers. So they can stake out the bar, see when the guys return, and make money for the weapons. Basically, they find the guys, they kill them. It's like this big ladder leading up to some guy. That's not just me not knowing shit about this movie. It legitimately doesn't say who the top guy is. It doesn't say, like, oh, he's, like, a famous politician, or he's just seriously some guy who's in charge of it. There's nothing separating the guys at the bottom of the ladder from the guy at the top of the ladder. Other good characters, other characters in the film are the police officer who wants to help them. I don't know, his character was actually one of the more enjoyable parts of the film, because he had this, like, weird Michael Kramer, or Michael Richards kind of energy to him. And, like, just his dialogue between him and his partner, who turns out to be corrupt, like, are you still working on that vigilante case? He's like, yes, if you mean I'm still doing my fucking job, then I am. Like, it was just so stupid at times with the dialogue. I think where this film really, in all honesty, could have worked if it was less restrained in its approach. Like, if it had used the Asian schoolgirls thing to its advantage, and maybe had actually told you where it was taking place. I think it might have been taking place in California, but it didn't really, like, talk about where it was taking place that much. It was just, like, a generic city. If it had taken place in, like, Thailand or someplace over in Asia, then that also kind of would have worked, because it could have played on the tropes of Asian culture and, like, just the insanity of some of the pop culture over there, or misconceptions of the pop culture. Instead of having scantily clad Asian schoolgirls wielding samurai swords and assault rifles and ninja stars, we have a really, really slow, boring movie about three girls, because one of them kills herself. That's basically what sets them in, like, the whole, we're gonna get revenge on these fuckers, type of thing. That's The problem with it is it doesn't take it far enough. I don't know if it restrains itself out of respect or what, but it just feels really restrained. Like if it had just been really super crazy, like balls to the wall, like ninja, like female scantily clad ninjas, I think that would have been really funny. That would have worked. Like if it was like those old like rape revenge films of like Before I Spit on Your Grave, where it was just like stupidity, like Rape Squad or something like that. That would have been funny. That would have worked to this movie's advantage. And if it had pulled like more punches with like the Asian sex jokes, because like they're always wearing skirts in the movie, so like if it had just done like a few more like jokes with that, I think that might have made it work. Like it basically it played away from its strengths. It didn't play to what would have made it good. When you see an asylum film, you know you're not gonna get like quality, like anything superbly good. You know you're gonna get garbage. But what kind of garbage you don't really know. Were you gonna get CGI exploitation, or like balls to the wall craziness like Sherlock Holmes, where he like fights a dragon and an Iron Man like thing, or what? But this movie just, it didn't take advantage of the schlockiness that it could have had. It was a real bummer. The other thing that kind of bugged me about this was the special effects. It would switch between doing really, really good practical blood effects, and every now and then you'd see like this really bad CGI blood for no reason. I understand that you can't, like, there has to be a mix of both of them, but if this movie's trying to save money on a budget, I'm pretty sure practical is the cheaper way to go. Or if it's, like, if it was a CGI exploitation, then yeah, I'd understand. Put loads of CGI blood in. It's meant to look stupid, but the fact that there was really good practical effects work with the blood in this, it just didn't feel right. The main CGI blood part I'm complaining about is when they're interrogating the second guy in command, not the two that raped them, but another guy. They're interrogating him. They have a knife to his throat. They're like, "Oh, tell us what you know. What's this club? Like, who's involved in it?" There's a knock on the door. They slit his throat, and like right there, just this like really shitty, just splurk of blood, like the worst CGI blood I've ever seen, comes out. It's fucking embarrassing. Like how bad the CGI blood is. And then like when they do actually get the samurai swords and stuff, and there's fight scenes, it's practical effects. It's like stab a guy, there's blood on the sword. Or when the cop shoots his partner in the head. Like it's a really good squib. Like it's shot poorly because it's an asylum film, but he aims the gun, fires, it quick cuts to the cop that he shot at. You see the bullet enter. You see the bullet mark on his head. Explosion of practical blood behind. That was cool. Like, I just don't know why it couldn't balance it better. I don't know. Another cool scene that I think that, like I said, if they had continued going in this vein, it would have been a cool movie. When they get captured at the end and they're locked in like this sex dungeon, May tries to break loose by seducing a guard. He's like, "Oh, I want you to sit on my face." So she takes off her panties, sits on his face, and snaps his neck with her legs. Somehow. If it had done more shit like that, this movie would have been cool. If it had just been like, kind of like sexy Asian girls killing people with samurai swords in like sexy ways, that would have been funny. That, like, yes, it's a rape revenge film, but rape revenge films don't have to be serious. I Spit on Your Grave was serious. But I never found Rape Squad or all the ones before it to be that serious, in all honesty. It's I don't think that you can offend anyone with this because, well, you're going to offend people, but I don't think you need to be worried about offending people. In all honesty, if if they could have made not Nazi exploitation back in the day, like Elsa or the Gestapo's Last Orgy, and like gotten away with it, then you can make R&R films and make them really stupid, and like I feel that's a good place to put comedy. It just has to be, I'm not going to say tasteful, but it just has to be the right kind. Like, because the contrast of darkness is humor. That's what I think. Like, it's funnier to get over these like dark scenes with humor. Not only that, but it kind of, the genre of Asian schoolgirls lends itself to this because the whole what the fuck Japan thing would be like perfect for this. It kind of hinted at a sequel, maybe, like the cop wants to hire them to like take down more of these types of things, and they're going off to college. So I'm really hoping there's a second one, and that Asylum learns from their mistakes and just, I'm not even say picks up the quality, but goes in like this direction. Because, in all honesty, this could have been the Asylum's best film to date if they had actually did it in a more crazy and fun route. And this was what was weird, because the trailer actually showed it as like a kind of rape revenge comedy, kinky kind of sexy thing. But it turned out to just be really boring. Like, yeah, that would have been cool too, like split it up. Like have one half be like them investigating this like Taken type of ring. Sure, but have it be more funny when they do it. Like have them, I don't know, have it be more like when they're like getting an interview for the strip club. Like have it be more like that. Like, okay, you're getting revenge for the fact that you're raped, but you're like using all this like sexuality innuendo like all the time. Just like the weird humor from that. Speaking of, this movie, in like a brief sentence or two, touches on rape shaming, blaming the victim, and stuff like that. I do like that it did that. So that was kind of cool. And maybe that was why, since they kind of point out that they couldn't go back and be like, oh yeah, but now these characters just like taking advantage of their sexuality. Like, I don't know, I'm not saying that it should have made the characters look like sluts. I'm just saying it should have made the characters, have them be aware of what they were doing, have them be like, you know what? That's a guy. He's gonna think about sex, so we can use that to our advantage, sort of thing. Like, that would have been funny, I think. But I don't know. There's worse ways to waste an hour and a half on Netflix, in all honesty. Trying to think what else really is there to talk about for this film. Not much. The characters are like extremely one-dimensional. I had to just rewatch the movie, look up their names on IMDb to know what characters had what names. In all honesty, 'cause I knew they were different characters. I just didn't know what set the characters apart, sort of thing. So, like I said, yeah, I don't know. Check it out, or just check out the last, like, half an hour, in all honesty. The last half hour is when it really gets good, in all honesty. I think I'm a little bit more favorable to this, too, because it's a hard R. After watching Expendables 3 with its, like, PG-ified shit, I enjoy watching movies that are hard R's. I believe if you're making an action movie, it should be a hard fucking R. You shouldn't have to, like, baby this shit up to reach a wider audience. Like, I was young and I saw, like, hard R fucking action movies all the time. And, like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know why they're babying down good action movies to reach out and wider audience. But I'll probably do another video on Monday of The Strain, because there's a new episode of that coming out. And I'm also thinking of doing a Wilford not synopsis, but like my thoughts and impressions of the last two seasons of Wilford, because the finale just premiered recently. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, like it, comment. I'm always looking for more exposure. If you can give me names of some sites or something, just put that in my comments section. And see you guys next time.